Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday's request day. Today's map is the longest waiting request map on the request list. And let's say that I think this map is much better if you ignore one thing: the name. I find the name a bit of a distraction because while this map is very clearly, according to the name, based on a real life location, I just don't see it. I mean, very, very vaguely see it. In fact, we'll have a look at the map in a moment, and there's a very, very vague resemblance between that and that. I mean, it is very vague. If you ignore the name, this then becomes a much better map. So let's do that, shall we? Let's call the map Vague for now, and at the end of the show we'll revert back to its real name. But before we do any of that, that's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Vague, I'm not going to do that. Goa Tropical Map by FiTUBA. FiTUBA has their own YouTube channel. I've had a little look and it looks quite polished. Very, very polished. Very nice work. There's your start square. We'll talk about those T's a little bit later on. Don't worry, I haven't missed them. Then you have a flattish. I mean, it is bumpy, but bumpy flat. Buildable space in the middle of the map. Strong resources. It's used for pill painting, but I think they are done in a way that can definitely be used quite interestingly. Fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got a real mix of all the fishies amongst all of the little shapes that we've got going on there. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC required today. A map based on a real city of Goa, situated in India, apparently. We'll be using the Laviante 2.1 theme, which I didn't even realise that had been upgraded, and the Relight Neutral LUT. Now, there is 3 one-click collections, and each one breaks down into, we've got this one, this is Grey Flames Highways, sorry, the NAF highways, very nice set of highways, North American highways in India, correct. Trees, we've got a mix of trees, including a lot of non-tropical trees. You'll see quite a few, there you go, western hemlocks and stuff like that, that you wouldn't normally expect to find in India, but hey, listen, just ignore this is Goa. And then rocks, good mixture of rocks, not too many as well, kept it fairly simple, very nice to see. Ignore the link collections at the bottom. I don't think, well, certainly with the props you don't need them. I checked the loading screen reports, and yeah, you don't need those. We've got a few trees on the underside of the highway here, and there are a few encroaching trees across the map. So if you're playing with Anarchy, then you can probably switch those off. Also, yes, although we are playing on an Indian map, I'm going with right-hand drive cars because, well, I don't really feel this is India. I just don't. This is, yeah, the biome doesn't feel right, the section of highways don't feel right, and so on, and the shape doesn't quite feel right. That's not to say it's not a nice map, okay? Hang on, this looks troublesome. Let's just check. Yeah, we got a splash of blue mantle going on. Worse on the other side, actually, over there. Yeah, a little bit of blue mantle. A good chance for me to link in my blue mantle tutorial in the intermission today, so look out for that one. Yeah, so what we've got is it's a bumpy map. I think. Okay, let's talk the positives on this map. The positives on the map are it's not necessarily a super easy map. Which, again, for those of you that are bored of just playing flat grid cities, you'll want something a little bit different. This looks troublesome as well. Not as bad as the last one, but there's a hint of blue mantle under there too. So yes, if you don't want something completely flat. Also, the shape of the map, I think, is quite an interesting shape. We have that longish island in the middle, which centers on the map. And so if you're looking to do something interesting there, you could roll with that as well, which is quite nice. And also down at ground level, I'm liking the shapes of the backgrounds of the big hills in the distance. So there's that to say. Tree mix. Although let's say we're ignoring this isn't India, I'm liking the tree mix too. Being that it's not India, and we've got a couple of interesting feature areas as well, which we can talk up to, including a pool with the rail running around it, which we'll check in a few moments once we get to the edge of the map and switch over to the rail. Here we've got this is the link. This is the start square area here. And nicely detailed roundabout in the middle here. See, it's not completely flat. It's a little bit bumpy and a little bit undulated. I don't remember if I switched the terrain on. I'm pretty sure I do. Maybe if I don't, I'm sorry. But it's slightly curvy land without being unbuildably curvy. Okay, that's for those of you that want flat or nearly flat. Oh, this has got to be Blue Mantle. There's no way that isn't Blue Mantle. Also, we've got a bit of tunnel which has come to surface there. And if we look underneath here, yeah, big splash Blue Mantle there as well. All points coming off for the detailing score, but it's not always. These are easily fixed things, aren't they? So let's not get too stressy. This is that middle island, and this big intersection takes up a lot of space. It's very pretty, very nice, and it enables us to go all the way down to that end of the island and all the way down to that end of the island. So for playability, I like it. I think it's a little too big for my taste, but again, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I say there's nothing wrong with it. We will show you a couple of things that are wrong, but minor things. Again, easily fixed in a couple of clicks. Big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge, and this is a freaking massive one. That said, it's very nicely done. It doesn't have any stupid gradients on it. And India, if this were India, India is one of those proud nations, quite a rich nation. There's a lot of poverty there as well, but they don't do too badly in terms of money and science and stuff like that. Missing a pillar underneath there, which just looks like it's droopy a little bit. Yeah, when you've got a proud country like India, which is, like I say, they have nukes. I mean, the third world countries don't have nukes. They're bordering on. Well, I mean, is there such a thing as first world, second world, third world countries? It's not a linear scale like that, is it? It's one of those that it's a big country. It's a big country. They have a lot of natural resources and a lot of talents there as well. If we can avoid talking about phone scams or anything like that, yes, you get that, but you get that coming from many countries. At the moment, it seems to be India, but listen, we'll talk about the Russians on another time. And let's face it, UK and the United States are as bad as well. We've all got scammers. It's just, yeah, they're giving India a bad name at the moment. The rail's a bit non-realistic in terms of gradients, a bit bumpy, but I thank FiTUBA for this, because it did force me to phone my father. I haven't spoken to my father for a while, and I very seldom, because it's one of these things we don't often say, oh, tell me about your history, Dad. And yeah, he's got stories. Because a few of you may know, I actually have history, paternal history, going back to India. Some way back. Turns out my great-great-grandfather worked the railways in India. I want to say worked the railways. It turns out that he was, well, more management than he was train driver, sweeper, or maintenance. I've heard a couple of interesting stories, and there seems to have been a little bit of well-to-do-ness going on there. This was pre-partition, obviously, as well. So yeah, that means just interesting stories. Of course, my dad's only relaying them secondhand, because he was only a nipper as well when the family moved to the United Kingdom. But yes, just one of those things that I've got a little bit of family history going back to the railways in India. And I thought maybe he might have had one or two interesting stories. I think the most interesting story that he had was, again, this came down from his grandfather, and one of the railway workers under him was bitten 7 times by cobras whilst working. not on the same day. Apparently the speculation was that the first bite was a female cobra. I don't know how much there is on this one. Again, this is not a factoid, because factoids, this is just like one of these stories that comes down through families that I only picked up today. And yes, the first one was possibly a female cobra, and then the other 6 being males, either getting her scent or just something smelling the female cobra in the blood. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But then I don't know much about reptiles, that much really. So all I know is snakes are reptiles, and cobras can be absolutely deadly. So yes, a railway worker bitten 7 times. 7 times. But yes, that was pre-partition India. And I want to get some more old stories. So if you've got folks about, ask them to tell them stories that they got told from their parents, their granddads. It's fascinating stuff to be learned. I should really do the same more as well. I told him this when I was on the phone with him earlier, so I should phone them up more often, just get more of these backgrounds. Because when they're gone, when they're gone, they're gone. You won't hear them then. Anyway, the rail then, we're going up into the hills again. Yeah, so the gradients are off, and we have trees on the line and stuff like that. But it does say in the description, suits for vanilla and non-vanilla players. Well, I would argue against that. There's so many non-vanilla assets, I don't know what description of vanilla we've got there. But base game, yeah, I would roll with that. Meanwhile, here's that intermission.
Have you ever torn a hole through the surface of the earth? Do blue mantle nightmares trouble you deeply? Then you need BonBonB's How to Fix Blue Mantle tutorial. Click the I button now.
Blue mantle be gone. Intermission be gone. Shipping routes. Right, it splits here. That one on the right heads off parallel with where we're going here, but is a more direct route that doesn't go through the islands. And being more direct, probably once the map has settled down, any ships that are taking the through route will probably avoid going through the islands. I haven't tested it, but I'm suspecting that would work. And then we've got a split here, and oh, hang on, maybe it doesn't, because that then connects there. So maybe we will have shipping through the islands. There will be a right-angled turn there as well, but it's a fairly nice route overall. Water flow. Yeah, we got strong water flow. This is the main wide river running down past the start square. So if you're looking to pump and draw, if this is what FiTUBA meant by vanilla, then yeah, absolutely. If you're looking to do a pump and draw base game style game, then you are good with this one. Map as a whole, I like it. The aesthetics, the shape, the design, the tree mix, the theme and luck combo, all of these things are positives. Let's have a quick look at the fields. The Laviante is a great theme for fields. If you're looking to do fields, a field-based map, yeah, have a look at the Laviante theme. And I'm liking these. These are big, bold, strong resource fields, so they're good. And again, I like the tree mix. Not tropical, not India, but I am liking it. It works on its own level. So. I'm good with that, and the tree painting, all told, is okay. I mean, slightly better than okay. It's slightly better than okay. I wouldn't say I was massively excited, but there's nothing wrong with it. We'll settle with that. The beaches. Now, the Goa has got some beautiful golden beaches, and the Laviante theme is a little bit too, I don't know, muddy sand, dull sand. Again, great, but doesn't work in terms of Goa for me. But I like the shape of those 2 beaches. I can believe in those 2 beaches. And this beach as well, I can believe in it. And I don't mind the palm trees on the beach, that's fine. But then if you have a look up here, this was kind of like speed built. And you'll notice when you get towards the edge of the map, there are a couple of speed build problems like that. Like glitchy roads and things like that, right on the edge of the map. Here's your water spawn point at the top of that wide river with some floating rocks, which okay. Okay, I don't mind that either. That's okay. I could quite happily live with that one on this particular map. We have a few dotted islands, which are dotted and their islands. We have one here which has got a middle dot in the middle of the dotted island as well. So yeah, again, these feel to some degree a little bit speed built. There's nothing unpleasant about them, but again, in terms of polishing them up to get the extra scores for detail and aesthetics, there's points missing there. We have got lane mathematics for those of you that like lane mathematics, and I would say, yeah, good. 3 lanes up to 4 lanes, 4 lanes down to 3 lanes. Yes, of course, right-hand drive, and I know we're in India. I've covered this already. I did think about it. I decided to go with right-hand drive because it just doesn't feel that we're just ignoring the name of the map. Just put your hand over all of that. Just, in fact, Goa and tropical. Yeah. Right, okay, doing some jumping about now. What's wrong here? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes, we've got some backwards highway on that big intersection in the middle of the map. Again, easily fixed with one right click. So, again, not a huge problem with that one. So that's fixed for free. Also, in the start square, we've got a couple of sections in the start square. Again, technically it does lower gameplay, but not as much as it would do if it was off in the corner of the map. So we've got a little bit of wrong way there and a little bit of wrong way there, which means traffic will be able to drive into the start square but not drive out. But again, you can fix that for free with a right click without buying another tile. So I'm not sweating too much on those. Minor beginner errors, we'll call them. One last area to check out, the feature area. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you get into this lighthouse for starters. You need a big old ship to get into there. But hey, listen, lighthouse, nice to see. Nice rock detailing, nice vegetation, a little bit of it, couple of interesting detail areas there. We are rocking and holing today. Rocking and holing. Essential lighthouse and rocking and holing. Nice. And ooh, it's a castle. All of them thrown in there. And actually, if you look at the shapes of the lakes, they kind of look like giants' footprints, like there. And you've got the toes up there as well. There's a giant gone out to sea at that point. The Goan giant. Anybody heard of him? Maybe not. Anyway, back down to the start square, which means only one thing. That I finished talking too quickly. That's what it means. Today's asset is the Greene complex by Thomas13TO. And for once I decided to Google one of Thomas's assets to find out what it really is. So factoids coming directly from the Greene complex website. The Greene complex for sports and recreation in Palm Beach, Florida provides outstanding facilities, a variety of fitness, recreation and social activities, and also serves as a competition venue and training centre for intercollegiate athletics. The Greene is home to the Sailfish men's and women's basketball teams and the volleyball team, and it's also the training and treatment centre for other PBA athletic teams. I don't know what PBA is, somebody tell me in the comments. There are 4 locker rooms located in the building, along with a unique team room just off the Rubin Arena floor. There is also a Chick-fil-A located right next door to the main entrance. That's the only reason to go, isn't it? Get your Chick-fil-A. Staff members for the athletic department and campus recreation departments call this building home. Yeah, that's probably because they're not paid enough and they actually live in the locker rooms. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Greene Complex by Thomas13TO, as always. A classic asset in the style that only Thomas does to that standard. Brilliant. Right, or Thomas, isn't it? As this old gamer would say. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. In the top right corner of your screen, it will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. I forgot to mention this little lake, didn't I? This pool. I like this pool. I like it. I don't get it, but I like it. I don't have to get it for it to be good or not good. I like it. Aesthetically, the map is not like Goa, and because this is the Goa and tropical are both thrown in here, it feels neither Goa nor tropical. You can't score massively super high. If this was a generic name, lose both of those names and call it something else, I think we might be edging into 4 stars. But I can't go any higher than middly high 3 on this one. Detailing, I think there's some good stuff on here. but there are lots of clunky bits, and what I'm going to call, well, obviously Blue Mantle as well loses points, so I've got to go 2 stars. Let's go towards the top end of 2 stars, because there's some good stuff as well. Gameplay potential, again, I can't go super high, because if you want to play Goa, I don't feel you're getting it, but I still like the map, so I'm going to go right down the middle with a middle 3 stars. Goa Tropical Map by FiTUBA. Look, if nothing else, go and check out their YouTube channel, because from what I can see, their city builds are a lot more interesting than their recreation of real life locations. I like that map, but as a recreation of a real life location, I don't buy it. I don't get it. Anyway, that's my point of view. Tell me that I'm wrong in the comments. You know, I won't agree with you, but I appreciate your point of view as well. And use that word in the comments as well while you're here to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day. See you very, very soon.